I think there are a number of really key ideas that come through this specific body of Jean Tinguely's work, in particular the direct engagement with the audience. These works are very much a symbiotic relationship between the machines that Tinguely has built and the audience that participates in them, and they work together to complete the artwork. I think his sense of technology is a really interesting one to think about now, especially as we're in a kind of new technological age at the beginning of the 21st century. I also think that the Méta-matic works in particular there's a strong critique that comes through Jean Tinguely's works that's very apparent in these pieces, a critique of the art market at the time in the 60s, a critique of gestural painting, a critique of sort of the hierarchy of the art world, and Jean Tinguely was trying to break those down by having this very direct engagement with the public, and how does that translate into contemporary art now? There are a lot of contemporary artists where if a part goes bad, that might be the end of that piece. Or if you think about, there are video artists now that deal with that issue in the same way. It's, you have new technologies that expire at certain points, and how do you keep those pieces going? And as an artist, I think it's actually part of the artist's responsibility to kind of think that through. You have video artists like Bill Viola, who's very, very active in always updating the technology of his pieces, so he goes back to pieces that were created 20 years ago, creates new versions with new technology to help preserve them. And I think Tinguely was the same way, where it wasn't about, if the piece dies, let it be dead, but it's, just use what you have on hand in the same spirit that he used what was on hand to fix them. Yeah. And so we're coming up with sort of research, thinking about Jean Tinguely, thinking about the specific body of his works as a way of kind of framing ideas that will be presented to contemporary artists who will be commissioned in turn to make new works in response to those ideas.